I would like to welcome back you all in this technical session of 4th International E-Conference on Sustainable Practices in Business Management and Technology in Turbulent Times. The first technical session will have presentations from the management track. We are pleased that Dr. Lakshmi Rawat is present with us to chair this session. Dr. Rawat is a dedicated, resourceful, and innovative educationalist offering over 18 years of teaching, training, administration, and invigilation, scaling new heights of success with hard work and dedication, and leaving a mark of excellence on each step. Impressive success in planning, organizing, and directing comprehensive educational programs for school students. Proficiency in developing all aspects of institution, including facilities, infrastructure, staffing, welfare, discipline, boarding, and all policy development and implementation. Dedicated leader with proficiency in managing the administrative activities, entailing event management, faculty appraisal and training, and upholding of the institution's motto. Skilled in organizing teachers' orientation workshops, special events and campaigns, educational tours and exhibitions, and so on. I would like to invite Dr. Lakshmi Rawat to deliver plenary talk for the session.
Thank you, dear. A very warm good afternoon to all the participants at the international conference, the virtual conference organized by Jagran Institute of Management. I would like to extend my thanks to the organizers, the management, and all the conference committee members for having such thoughtful ideas and conducting a conference. And special thanks for inviting me to share my little knowledge on this virtual platform. If I am good to go, would you allow me to share my PPT?
You can.
Thank you. So today, during this session, I would like to share some learnings about one of the latest disruptions which is happening in the industry as well as society. If I say none of us are untouched by this disruption, I may not be wrong. And I chose to speak about blockchain technologies. In brief, I would like to explain about what blockchain technology is, how these blockchain technologies have been transforming the businesses and the societies around us. And then for our dear student communities, what could be the prospective careers in blockchain technologies? So there was a time back in 80s, 90s, when the mothers had to do a lot of hand holding with the students to get them inside the house and make them study. But today, the whole scenario has changed, definitely. And now we see all the students, kids addicted to their laptops, tabs, or, some other Android or other systems, and they just don't want to get away from these gadgets. It's so difficult to take them outside the house to play. So what is happening? Well, technology is changing our lifestyle. Technology is changing our behavior. Technology is, brought in immense change right from the way we live to what we use, what we eat, and everything around us. So what does it do in all? When we speak about one such technology, that is blockchain technology, what does it do? If I have to put it in one or two words, this is something like, once you have made a change, it's a tamper-proof record of information. And this record of information is accessible to everyone. To give you a little more perspective of it, let me give you all an example of your postings on social media, be it on Twitter or Insta. Once you have posted it, you have some time to make some changes to it. Edit option is available. But over a period of time, once you get your views, likes, comments, what happens is it's difficult to make any changes to your post. At the most, you can remove the post. But even if you remove the post, there's a mark left that the post has been removed. So blockchain technology, when we speak about this blockchain technology, this technology is being used to record information. This piece of information can be related to financial aspects or some other supply chain aspects or some other forensic aspects, or it can be any kind of information which is sequentially being recorded, and it cannot be tampered. Anyone who has to go and change it, it will leave a mark. You cannot change it at the most. Let me take you all through to understand this blockchain. When I speak about blockchain, let me take you all through one more example which you may be able to relate. So this is about, I am trying to give you a perspective of payment systems and smart contracts. Okay, you all must have seen, see now Netflix had become very popular amidst COVID. And one such series which we all, at least the younger generation must have seen is a Squid Game. Now, what happens in this Squid Game? It's a pool of participants and they are playing the game. The pool of participants are playing the game, which has different levels, and there is a prize money. The details of each participant, his history, I mean, his, all the information related to his family, friends, profession, strengths, weaknesses, everything is recorded in the system. And they are playing this game, and each game there is an elimination round. There's no going back. Once you are eliminated, that means these players, whoever lose, get killed in the game. And then that goes to the next level, and whoever is able to reach the final level is the winner of the game and takes away the prize money. And there is a distribution of this prize money amongst all the players at different levels of the game. So it is like a chain, it is like a sequence. There is a contract between the players and the organizers of the game. They cannot go back, they cannot quit the game unless there is a majority. So I am trying to give you a perspective of what kind of technology is being used over here. The technology over here not only takes in the information of all the players, but each level there is an elimination, and this prize money gets distributed or given to whoever wins. And they are entering into a contract with the organizers of the game to play the game. Let us understand it a little bit more in detail with our next example. So if again, let me reflect upon it. So this blockchain technology, as defined by Tommaso Asti, he says that it is a foundational technology and it leads to a paradigm shift. There is no human intervention. If you had seen in this game, there are people who act as robots and every act is recorded. So this blockchain technology, we are moving away from human intervention and we are trusting more the machines, the computers, and we are also moving from centralized to a decentralized control. Centralized means everything is connected at one point. Decentralized means there are different nodes, different points of connection. So here everything, okay, is assessed, is accounted, is recorded by the machines, and there is no human intervention. And this system is a decentralized system. Okay, moving forward, let me give you again, use case of blockchain technology. I have tried to bring in most, relevant examples for you, so that, whatever you are seeing around you, you are able to relate and understand how blockchain is touching our lives. This is about, most of you all must have seen this poster and, got some memories about the series of The Good Doctor. What happens in this series is, as soon as this patient is brought, this is a US series. It happened somewhere in US about this, hospital and people working over here. The kind of technology, the healthcare technology that is being used in the series is nothing but blockchain in healthcare sector. What happens here is, as soon as a patient is brought into the hospital, looking at their social security number, just like we have the Aadhaar number in India, in other countries, US, they have a social security number. And looking at this social security number, the doctors are able to scan and understand what is the history of health of this particular emergency case. What are the ailments he has been suffering with? Was he having sugar, blood pressure, or some cardiac problem, or any kind of relevant information? Apart from this, they also are able to extract information about what kind of medicines he has been consuming in the recent past. Apart from this, has he got how much of his insurance, the government insurance, has he been able to avail, and how much is left with him? Okay, so all this information, when received at the click of the button of your computer system, would help the doctors to take immediate actions without wasting a lot of time in diagnosing every ailment or every problem of this patient. So in healthcare sector, with the usage of blockchain technology, that is pooling the information sequentially without the intervention of human beings. I'm sorry. What has happened is, they have been able to rescue this patient. They have been able to rescue this patient immediately. Okay, that was, little disturbance because I had cough. I'm sorry for that. Okay, now this is one of the live examples from China. Thank you. So China has been leading in many sectors. So is the case with blockchain technologies. It has been serving about 800 million people in over 200 cities across China. It has over 2,000 hospitals which are connected with the service platform. And all this is just through one app, that is City One Connect. This app is providing them social health insurance medical service providers, private insurance, and lot of insured members. So what you have to do is you just have to enroll for this app, and all your information is pooled through this app and provided to various other third parties. And whenever there is an ailment you are suffering with, for the premium amount that you are paying, you get to use the services. And these hospitals are going to keep a record of all the patients who have enrolled through this app. If it is an EMR or a treatment or some kind of settlement for an accident, anything they are going to support. So this is one business idea based upon blockchain technology, very much in use in China, and it's making them a lot of profits. That means if you see the last thing, the first round of financing at post money valuation, it is around 8,800 million USD, and that's a very large amount. Now that I have given you a perspective of what blockchain is, what are the use cases of blockchain, let me give you a little history of blockchain. So this exactly, just like internet, what was internet in 90s for us? Similarly, blockchain is in 2020s. This is not a database. Just like, to be able to send an email, you need to have internet. Here also, to be able to have this kind of information, you need to have a blockchain technology integrated. It's a new stack of technology with digital trust. What is trust? Now, whenever you make a business, you make a deal with anyone, the most important factor is, apart from negotiating and exchanging things, trust. Okay. And today, with the amount of cyber crimes, it's become very difficult to save the data with the hackers and so many things going around us. So this platform of blockchain technology creates a digital trust, and it has been revolutionizing the way we are exchanging value and information across the internet. So we have, through blockchain, a lot of gatekeepers in this particular process. Now, this was, the idea was first brought in by Mr. David Chaum in 1982, who was a cryptographer. Now, there is a long history of money, financial resources. Initially, we start off with, it was exchange of things through barter system, gold, silver coins. Then we speak about fiat currency, and then we have the digital banks today. More than that, we have the virtual money. Virtual money is protected through a technology called cryptography. So this cryptocurrency, people have brought into the businesses. They don't want to, spend money as exchange fees. Cryptocurrencies valuation would be same in India, US, China, Germany, Pakistan, wherever it is. All of them carry equal value. But if we were moving around different countries, different currencies have different values. So to bring this uniformity, cryptocurrency has been brought into the market. However, later, although this concept was brought in 1982, later in 1991, it was Stuart Haber and W. Scott Stornett who wrote about their work on these consortiums, that is, people working together and creating value, these cryptocurrencies. But popularizing it, promoting it was done through Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, this person, we don't know whether it is a person or it's a pseudonym or it is a group of people, just a fake name, but he was the person to whom we can accredit the origin of invention and implementation of the first blockchain network after deploying the world's first digital currency, that is Bitcoin. The value of Bitcoin has been ever rising. If someone is trading, they would know about it. So this is about the history of blockchain, the need for bringing is in this technology. So it was mainly developed as an authentication and verification technology behind the Bitcoin. Now that they brought in this cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, the first cryptocurrency, which is a decentralized cryptocurrency, okay, they wanted some process for authentication and verification, and that is what blockchain was used for. In Bitcoin, a transaction is initiated when the future owner or digital tokens sends his or her public key to the original owner. So it is a very lengthy thing if I have to explain, but if I have to put it in short, when you have to use your digital lockers, the banker is having one key, and then the account holder, the depositor is having one key. Unless both the keys are plugged in, your locker is not going to open. So for a Bitcoin transaction to happen, or any cryptocurrency transfer to happen, there would be one private key and one public key. Private key is held by the individual, and the public key is owned by at the nodes level. And these coins are transferred through digital signatures or hashes. Now, what is a hash? Hash is a combination of a mathematical function, and it is a combination of numbers and words which are cryptographically generated and stored in a blockchain, and they cannot be replicated. There is no opportunity for replication of this hash. Nobody can, hack the hash. Now, who is the owner then? The next question would be, who is the owner of blockchain? If there are gatekeepers, every individual is owning a private key. So just like your internet, there is no owner. It's only a service that we are using. Similarly, there is anyone who can use this technology to run and own their own blockchain. There is no owner for this particular technology. And if I have to give you a little more perspective of how it works, some of the students who are from finance background, accounting background, may be understanding what is bookkeeping. So bookkeeping and blockchain are, little similar. So whenever a transaction is entered, whenever a transaction happens, this transaction is transmitted to a network of peer-to-peer computers scattered across the world. I told you it is a decentralized technology. So whenever someone makes an order to purchase something, to identify whether this order is genuine or not, this order is scattered across various, computers. Now, I must tell you about, if you are playing some video games, Minecraft, you have people who are mining in different places, and some of them, if they are doing very hard work, may get some diamonds or gold coins. So this is also similar network. People are continuously decoding these hashes. Okay, no, they are not decoding. They are trying to verify these hashes, and whoever is able to do it first will get a reward. So this network of computers then solves the equations to confirm the validity of the transaction. Once the validity of the transaction is complete, the transaction is complete. These blocks are then chained together, creating a long history of all transactions that are permanent. Once confirmed to be legitimate transaction, then it is clustered together into blocks. That is, one transaction is occurred by X to Y. It is recorded as a block. Next time Y does any other transaction, that transaction will add as a block. And then nobody can go back and remove this block. Okay, it's like, you know, your daily routine. If you're having a calendar and you're making a list of activities in your calendar, once the day has passed, once the time has passed, you cannot ever go back and change the activities which you have already conducted in the past. Similarly, in a blockchain, once the transaction is executed, verified, it cannot be edited or changed. How blockchain is transforming the society. Now we see at a very, very high level how blockchain is used at healthcare center. Blockchain technology can be used to such an extent that, you know, even if some of you are want to purchase some authentic flowers, orchids from Switzerland. Okay, you want orchids only from Switzerland. So through blockchain in supply chain, which place this orchid has grown, a chip is inserted in the pack and transactions are recorded from the, you know, harvester to retailer to wholesaler to exporter to importer to wholesale seller at the other country to the final customer. It's all recorded in blocks, and there is no chance of any kind of, you know, cheating on this. In fisheries, the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean happens to be one of the largest catchment area for tuna fish. But there are reservations about catchment of certain varieties of tuna fish, like blue tuna. So what happens is, some people may be trying to bypass these restrictions of the government. In such a case, with the introduction of blockchain, only authorized boats would be allowed to do fishing in those areas, and these fishes, the catches are coded till the point it is received by the ultimate customer. So this is how blockchain is going to, you know, transform the society. Everything that you get, even in insurance sector. These are various sectors. I have given you example of healthcare, supply chain, and smart contract. Of course, you all know about it, how Google Pay or Paytm has transformed our life. Here also blockchain is working. Let me give you one more example of blockchain working in insurance sector. What happens is, cattle which are insured may be moving from one place to another place. And sometimes, to make benefit of the insurance claims, although these cattle, whoever are insured, you know, they will have a tagging on their ears. The buffaloes or camels or any such cattle, they have a tag because they are insured. And wherever they are moving, from the sensors, the company will come to know where they are moving and all that. So sometimes what they do, cattle breeders, they will just cut the ear and claim for that particular insurance. But through blockchain, on account of consistent tracking of the cattle, from whom it is bought to whom it is sold, every time an exchange happens, for what purpose it has been sold, for what purpose it has been purchased, every time, you know, because of tracking of transaction, it has brought in lot of convenience to these cattle breeders and the insurance companies. This is not only relevant to cattle, but many other things also. So we now see that at least 25% of global 2000 will use has been using blockchain technologies for digital trust at scale. At very large scale, we are creating trust digitally. We see it in settlements of payments. We see it in smart contracts. The Dharani app, if people in North India may not be knowing. One of the states in South, Telangana government, has introduced one app known as Dharani app. This is about, to stop all the problems of land acquisitions, illegal acquisitions. So they have enlisted the records of last 200 years for exchange contracts of land, and it is all, uh, it's all protected in a digital ledger. Who has sold to whom, which year, how it has exchanged hands, for what value, for what reason, and there is no opportunity to do any tweaking in this particular case. So we see it in various aspects, and it's going to touch our lives now. So this is about usage of blockchain in cloud, Internet of Things, the society, how customers are depending on social sites for purchasing advisors in FB and Twitter or Instagram. All this information is going to be accumulated and used in blockchain technologies for better tracking. So if I have to sum up, I would like to say that blockchain technology is for sure transforming society as well as industry. It's very high time. And in fact, you are all very, very lucky to be participating in this particular conference and getting to get introspective of a small at a very higher level an understanding of what are blockchain technologies, because very soon this technology is going to sweep all the industries, and you being the first learners of this technology will definitely have the advantage of being the first learners of the technology. These are few references which I have taken, various pictures from Google, and that is where I would like to, give a pause to this presentation for now. But as I look forward for further opportunities to exchange the next session on blockchain technologies with all of you. That's it from my end.
Thank you, ma'am, for your knowledgeable words. Now I would request Dr. Naveen Arora to take over the session.
Thank you, Lopamudra. I welcome our session chair, Dr. Lakshmi Rawat. I would request, before we start presentations, I would request Dr. Lakshmi to listen all the presentations and go through all the presentations, because at the end of presentations, I would request Dr. Rawat to share with us the best paper among all the presenters. So, starting with our presentations, first we have Dr. Ramachandran with us. He will talk about SWOT analysis on export-oriented units performance, a study with reference to garment units in Tirupur. Dr. Ramachandran.
Very good evening, sir. Very good evening. It's great pleasure to participate in this 4th international conference of Jagran Institute of Management Science. It's my pleasure to attend and to present. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes. I will share my PPT. I will share
Yes, sir,
my
please.
PPT. Is it visible, sir?
No, not yet visible.
Okay, there is some unsupported. Yeah. I will brief my research paper findings and implications of my paper on SWOT analysis, of which it goes on to take into consideration of very important area about Tirupur. Tirupur is very famous for export, particularly to garment industry, of which right now the industrialist and the units which have been established since when new economic policy established and implemented and executed in India since 1992, of which many entrepreneurs are facing different forms of issues, of which they come over to attain in the present day of through various opportunities and challenges or for their business success and business excellence, particularly for survival and for sustainability of their growth and futuristic perspectives, of which I want to say about a few words about what will be the strength, what will be the weakness, what will be the opportunities and threats for the entrepreneurs in Tirupur city. Tirupur, once upon in 1950s to 1970s, it's a small village which faced on many problems over for confrontation towards socio-economic and also towards different forms of analysis, of which I want to say one about the aspect at outset. The business environment is very critical as over to the confrontation, and it may go on to competitive advantage at a global level in the present scenario. In this scenario, it is relevant for a researcher to study the strength and weakness, opportunities and threats for garment industry in relevance to emergence of status given by Government of India as 100% export orient units in Tirupur. Hence, the researcher has gone through a research analysis of which it take into consideration over the various previous studies of which to find out the research gap. Many reviews have go over to the study on their futuristic aspects and what will be the plus, what will be the minus, what will be the ups and downs or for the entrepreneurs. But this study concentrates and emphasizes on SWOT, particularly goes over for new path for the parameters and hence necessary secondary data and primary data collected over to the records and members of the entrepreneurs to the subject issue of the related variables. Next one. The research objective of the study. Yes. Research objective to apply SWOT analysis for examining the performance of garment industry and particularly units at Tirupur. Methods of analysis. Secondary data are those which are collected from various reports published by selected units in Tirupur. Apart from the company records, sources from journals, magazines, books, periodicals were taken into consideration for the purpose of analysis and interpretation of data. And moreover to that, tables and charts are used to interpret the data to collect. And individual units are highly used over to furnish the analysis on the basis of a SWOT analysis in the particular area over to analysis their performance. Necessary information and data are collected to bring out the suitable analysis for implications and conclusion for the study. As you know very clear as the management authorities and management scientists say that any business enterprise might have to go for to find out their strength and opportunities and weakness and threats over for their success for the future aspects. Of this, the tool has been taken as here over to assess the performance of the units in Tirupur garments or to identify their competitors and to identify competitors at global level and to identify the various environment opportunities and threats for them likely to face in the given situation. The company has been analyzes using SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, and it may be taken into various forms. What will be the strength? Budgeted cost of production, skilled human resource, high demand at Western and European countries, government consideration and international technology inputs, full range of sophisticated state-of-the-art technology, international brand equity, strategy for best outcomes. And these are all the 7 points over for strength of the units of the government units in Tirupur. And what will be their weakness? What will be their problems? The first one is lack of infrastructure. They can't compete with the overseas entrepreneurs. And competitive gaining is very tough at global environment. Difficulty in participation in expo. Either it may be organized in state expo or central expo or global expo. They may not to be able to meet out with the expo, and they are not able to participate in such forms of export to compete with the competitors, and also to identify the futuristic opportunities. And what will be the opportunities for the business units in Tirupur? First one is provision of outsourcing capabilities. Second one is e-commerce capabilities. Explore in the unexplored market. Importance given to world-class quality. Digitalized system. Participate in international garment magazine. Good logistics and supply chain management. Of this, we might have to make out and to identify over for these opportunities exist for the Tirupur, not only Tirupur, rest of the states also, rest of the places which are concentrating in manufacturing and production of garments, of which they may go for online trading, online business, and they go for outsourcing capabilities, and they can explore unexplored markets, and they give world-class quality of their produce and digitalized system of transaction, and to participate in international garment magazine. Over for good thing is they can create and establish good network system of supply chain management and good logistics. And what will be the threats exist over for their units? The thing is minimum cost affordable by some other Asian countries. They can't compete with the Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, and even Sri Lanka. They are offering at a very minimum cost to the Western countries and European countries, of which Tirupur and government units are not able to offer to that extent of the cost offered by Bangladesh entrepreneurs, and also Pakistan entrepreneurs, and Chinese entrepreneurs, and Sri Lankan entrepreneurs. Their cost of produce will be less than of us, particularly Tirupur. So there will be a problem and threat for them. And technology updating is very poor, and they can't update the technology, and they can't be able to compete with these countries also in garment manufacturing. And they are not in a position over for updating the technology, and digitalization is very basic, and they are not in a position to overcome this aspect in the present situation. Ups and downs in direct cost, particularly in case of raw materials, particularly in case of direct labor and direct cost, which may goes on for major issues over for them. So this is the major analysis on the part of the entrepreneurs in Tirupur unit, government units. What will be the implication and conclusion of the study? Clear-cut policies on raw materials in the interest of indigenous industries should be planned, chalked out and discussed well in advance. Prohibiting, banning the export of raw material is to be invariably considered in detail and enforced. That will be very important issue for the units for the development in future aspect. And second thing is the government of India and the state government should make amendment and also changes in policy, and it should endeavor to the burning problems of the processing units on a war footing. Either it may be for small or tiny or medium-sized industries, medium-sized units, of which they are facing lot of issues over in present and as well as also in future. and friendly tax policy is most essential part. Besides lowering of effective tax rates, the government officials may be asked to desist from rising unwanted litigations. The tax policy or for this issue, the people, the entrepreneurs are agitating and they go for many discussions and negotiations with the government or for to make amendments and changes in the policy. Finally, I want to say that exports of countries faced checked assess with the high tariff and non-tariff and staff walls in the industrialized countries and their major markets. The doctrines of free trade and competitive cost advantage have been distorted. The developing countries have been hardest hit by the resultant inequalities and a maladjustment in the global trade. Thus, developing countries remain far behind in the export of marketing strategies and the means available to their counterparts, and thus makes to the units for more success in the coming days, and that leads to a great platform for to come out with a competition to overcome at least neighboring countries of Indian state, of which they may go for success in the operation of European and Western countries. And what will be the future scope of further research? A comparative study on export-oriented units, performance and international export-oriented through online networking, and also to study the problems of export-oriented units performance through utilizing latest technology. That's what I want to say. And I, as a researcher, and as I identified, network system is very poor. It will be in basic level, and digitalized form of transaction is at also at a startup in a initial stage, of which they should concentrate, and the researcher will go for detailed study in a minor way or in a major way, which is strengthened for the policy makers and also for success of the entrepreneurs in government units in Tirupur. These are all the references of which I have gone through for research study. I am very grateful to the organizers of this 4th international conference, particularly to Mr. Pavan sir, who gave me an opportunity to present my research paper. And I also may salute to the chairperson for being a participant. I am grateful and paying my gratitude to him for giving me an opportunity. Thank you to the institution and to the principal and to the director of the institution for providing me an opportunity. Thank you, sir. Thank you for patience listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramachandran. Next presenter that we have for this session is Ms. Deepanka Bora. Ms. Bora would talk about CSR Sustainable Development Goals and Sustainability, a study of CSR in education and care. Ms. Deepanka Bora. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon. Please share your PPT.
Yes, sir. Sir, is it visible?
Yes, it is. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Deepanka Bora. I am a research scholar in Department of Management, Mizoram University, under the guidance of Dr. Vidukant Das. The topic of the presentation is CSR Sustainable Development Goals and Sustainability, a study of CSR in education and health. Introduction. Corporate social responsibility is defined as the voluntary contribution of the corporates for the well-being of the society. Environmental issues have become a major issue and cannot be overlooked. And in dynamic business environment, an organization could not survive merely on voluntarily activity just to save its good image, but also need to act rationally for the growth and development of the society and the environment. Thus, now the government of India has made it legally compulsory for some group of companies to contribute towards CSR activities after the amendment of the Companies Act 2013. As per the Companies Act 2013, companies with a turnover of 1,000 crore, a net worth of 5 crore or more, or a net profit of 5 crore, during an immediate proceeding financial year are required to spend 2% of their average 3 years profit towards CSR activities. According to the Birkeland Commission report, sustainability defined as the development that helps in meeting the need of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generation. Further, sustainable development helps in improving the value creation of the company as well as the society. For achieving sustainable development goals, corporate social responsibility could not align with green innovation and performance. According to Kotler and Lee, the awareness of sustainability and green management among the employees helps an organization to achieve its strategic sustainable goals through the involvement of employees in CSR initiative. The next slide is objective of the study. The first one is to examine the linkage between 17 sustainable development goals and CSR of selected Indian companies. The first one is to the second objective is to analyze the trend and nature of CSR spending by selected companies. And the last one is to find the CSR spend on education and health sector by selected companies. Methodology. The study is based on the annual reports and sustainability reports produced by the companies on their respective website. And apart from this, the study is also gathered from the National CSR portal. Some reputed journals were reviewed for fulfilling the purpose of the paper. This study considered companies are listed in the top 20 companies in India according to the National CSR Portal Reports 2019 to 2020. These companies are chosen for the study based on the amount spent on CSR activities during 2019 to 2020. Below is the table showing CSR investment made by the companies during 2019 to 2020. Next slide is discussion and findings. In India, education has evolved noticeably over the years along with the healthcare sector. The amendment of the Companies Act 2013 has unlocked the access for the Indian companies to contribute towards society. From the analysis, it was found that every companies have different pattern of CSR investment. Some of the companies' CSR activities are focused on some other CSR areas, such as improvement in the infrastructure, environment, and social issues. Besides this, education, as well as the healthcare sector, has received the highest amount of funds from the companies. According to the National CSR Portal and CSR Outlook Report 2020, out of the total CSR budget, the education sector has received 29.21% and the health sector has received 19%, which form the highest investment among all the sectors. Among the selected companies, Wipro Limited has invested the highest amount of CSR in the education sector, that is 73% of the total CSR And Coal India Limited has invested 61% of the total CSR fund, as the highest in the healthcare sector. This is the conclusion, but from the above discussion, it can be concluded that there is a positive linkage between CSR and SDGs. Further, after analysis the pattern of the CSR invested by the selected companies listed in the National CSR portal, it was found that a large portion of the CSR fund is invested in the education and healthcare sector. India is facing social development issues, and there has been more than 28% of the population are below the poverty line as per the 2011 survey. Thus, corporate social responsibility could be an important tool for the eradication of the hunger and poverty for the better tomorrow. And the companies must focus on other CSR activities and also such as infrastructure development, rural development, women empowerment, etc. Thank you all. Am I audible, sir?
Thank you, Ms. Dipanka Bora. Our next presenter for the session is Mr. Sudeep Basu.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Basu will be talking about a critical review on digital marketing strategies adopted by the companies during COVID-19.
One more thing I have to add on it, sir, that I have mentioned initially on the abstract that COVID-19, but as per the convener said that it would be changed and they have to mention that turbulent times instead of COVID-19.
Okay,
So
fine.
I have made the necessary changes. So I request you to kindly change that particular thing.
Companies during turbulent time.
Yes, because they have said that as international conference name is there. So they have requested me to use the particular term,
Okay,
turbulent
fine.
times instead of COVID-19. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Please present.
Okay, sir. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible. Please go
Thank
ahead.
you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, very good afternoon, everyone present here. Myself, Professor Sudeep Basu, I'm Assistant Professor of School of Business and Management Studies and Institute Knowledge Campus, Durgapur, West Bengal. So today, this paper has been two authors, myself, Sudeep Basu, and our departmental principal, Dr. Arup Sassangi, as a principal of School of Business and Management Studies and Institute Knowledge Campus, Durgapur. So our topic is that a critical review on digital marketing strategies during turbulent times. So first we have to discuss about what is marketing. We all know about this. Marketing is all about that shows the steps to company takes to promote purchase of any product or service. And it is related to basically the prime focus to the consumers or customers. And digital marketing front can say it is coined on 1990s. And digital marketing, we can say also known as online marketing. Today's scenario is in the online marketing or internet marketing or web marketing. Or right now we can say it's all about the digital marketing. So the main benefit of digital marketing today's scenario is all about that 24-hour service in 365 days. That is the main thing, which was not available before digital marketing era. So right now people can access anywhere else from mobile, from laptop, from tab in 24 hours. But previously when the physical things are there or marketing will be done on the physically or without physical marketing was there. So there was a time boundation was there like 9 to 6 or 8 to 5, whatever, 10 to 6 as per their concern. This is the main benefit of the digital marketing concept. Now, is there having some data regarding that digital marketing? In 2005, there were approximately 1.1 billion internet users were there, and it represents 16.66% of the total population. And in talking about the 2020, that it has been increased to 4.8, I think more than 4 times. The population increased by 62%. And there's a direct relationship between the customers and direct marketing and internet. So it has may help, and like countries like India and China, It's a huge population. These countries are having the huge number of population. So if we, as a company, as an organization, if we have to enter into the big market, so this digital marketing is very much important, so that we can touch each and every customer within a fraction of a second. Next is all about that marketing, also called marketing strategy, because it's all about the topic. That marketing strategy refers to the company's overall game plan to reach potential customers and convert them into customers of the products or services provided by the company. It's very simple that we have to convert the customers into consumers for the long-term basis. So marketing strategy contains the company's value proposition, key brand messages, that we can say USPs, and then data on target customer demographics. As per demographic wise, we have to target the customer. That's very important as a second segmentation part. And we have to pick up some high level elements also. But in this particular turbulence time, like COVID-19 has drastically changed the way of we are living. Last 1.5 years, we are in a 2 by 12 by 10 rooms. And the same is true as all business are having business today, and they're struggling on the particular maintain the present market physically. Then on that time, digital marketing came, and the benefit of digital marketing, we can see right now people are doing and each and everything and they are habituated with the particular digital marketing, whether it's a company side or there is a customer side. People are very much interested in new things, and there was a 90% drop in the person store visit for the 1 month of the virus pandemic. After that 2020 March, if I'm talking about the April and May, the 90% has dropped down because people are not able to go outside because of the pandemic situation. So they have by force, they have to go by the digital marketing strategy, and they have to accept the digital marketing things. So as for the businessman concerned, they have to advertise that entire thing through the digital era. Now, there are some existing literature who have gone through the several digital marketing regarding digital marketing strategy of different reviews. So I'll skip these things. Now, after getting that clear understanding about the problem area and from the existing literature reviews, we have got two objectives, successful objectives, that to study different marketing strategies adopted by the renowned companies during COVID-19, and to study digital marketing strategies and creative marketing strategies adopted during COVID-19. So these are our two objectives of the study. Now, exploring research and methodology, that exploratory research is designed to allow the investigator to essentially look to some phenomena with the aim to developing suggested ideas as per the Reynolds 1971. Now, this research is all about the exploratory nature, and it includes both quantitative and qualitative analysis. And for the purpose of this study, like I mentioned the word critical review. So the data were collected across from the India only. And the secondary data as information have been consistently analyzed to prepare this document. And the secondary data involves like various scholars and researchers and theses and published ebooks, articles published in various journals, magazines, conference proceedings, working papers, and company websites for annual reports, and some of the CSR activities reports and their internal newsletters. So these are our main data collection sources, and we have used company-related data and information of the publicity available in the company website, whatever we can get. And this is the best practice for the standard critical research. On the basis of we have done the critical research. Now, come to the major findings. Now, there are three major findings we have got that after getting the reviews. Now, first is all about marketing strategies during COVID-19. Now, to survive in the economic shutdown, the marketing tools should be innovation, resilience, empathy, and these four words have been taken so many researchers or scholars or different articles they have used, that these four things are very important, and they have taken these particular tools for the digital marketing strategy as a digital marketing strategy during the COVID-19 era. And these changing times makes marketers' role very crucial, not to see consumer as a group, but it can be seen as an individual. Because even thinking about the China and India, we have more than 100 crore people are there, but we have to think about the individual, because digital marketing is that like I think we can hit one, it will spread to within 10 immediately. Because one share, if I'm putting any digital marketing as like Facebook and WhatsApp or any other medium, the digital marketing is one share, one click, it will be reached to 1,000 people immediately. So many marketing experts have given insight about what marketing strategy should from the COVID-19. Now, second is all about general marketing strategies. Now, these are the three marketing strategy COVID that's listening for changes in the consumer sentiments or behavior, that is the human psychology or consumer psychology. And second one is anticipate operational impacts and adapt the marketing plan also. Now let's see is the digital marketing strategies during COVID-19. Now focus on consumer service and reputation management, create Google Ads campaign, answer the frequently asked questions. So it's required for the companies to give the answers of the consumers. Now utilize social media as many as you can, and don't stop posting on social media, because you are there. You have to say that I am there. Now conclusions all about that companies continue to stand with the position of the country over the product. And in these difficult times, it has become imperative to consumers the mental comfort zone, because in the COVID area, people cannot go outside, and companies are they're facing the same thing. So this following shows the marketing strategy in the nutshell. The companies are behaving in a socially responsible manner, educating the how to behave pandemic, and how to use the digital marketing strategies. Some companies stimulate that sentiments to bring to the comfort zone. Now, retail market promotes not only new business as well as the existing business. They have also choice. The matter is there. As for the price concern, is less. If I'm talking about the less in the compared to the physical marketing. Now, working collaboratively, always the parties and the government is also taking initiative regarding this. They are having pushing companies to go about the digital marketing. You can having the benefit of creativity in the marketing. The companies make creative efforts in the particular thing in the campaign and other things, and these things will help the entire things that double-edged sword and survival in the pandemic, and that if we can use in post-pandemic growth for mechanism. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Basu.
Welcome,
Next presenter that we have with us is Ms. Preeti Singh. Ms. Singh would talk about digital marketing made more effective by employing CRM practices. Ms. Preeti Singh.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Ms. Singh. Please share your screen if you have a presentation.
So I'm trying to share it, just a second. Just a second, I'm unable to share the screen.
Then let us help you in this. Is this fine, Ms. Singh?
Yes, sir, it's fine. Thank you so much, sir. So hello, everyone. I'm Preeti Singh from Government Degree College, Sitapur, and my title of the paper is Digital Marketing Made More Effective by Employing CRM Practices. Okay, next slide. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Digital marketing basically means we are using the digital medium to market one's product, as it has been discussed earlier. And this particular sort of marketing medium has become popular so very much during this COVID-19 period, because the people were restricted in their homes. And as per the survey conducted by the Nielsen and Bach, it has showed that near about every second Indian has become online and is being using its smartphone or internet for using these various services. The mostly people are doing with their smartphone are they are chatting or they are searching. Okay, and when they are searching about the products they want to buy or the places they want to explore. All these information is very important for the people who want to market their products. Okay, sir. So this basically helps a lot, but when such a thing is there that more and more people are going online, so many marketers are also present who want to ripe this opportunity for their betterment. As a result, the competition is also going and is increasing. I'm not explaining digital marketing in detail because everyone knows what is it. All that SEO, social networking sites, websites and landing pages, content writing. I'm not explaining all those things in detail. Kindly change the slide. Okay. Further change the slide, sir. I'm straight moving on to CRM. I would love to. Okay. So I'm moving on to CRM. That is basically customer relationship management. These are the software which are provided by nowadays by the software providing services, which help the companies to make their marketing programs more efficient and sharp, because people nowadays don't want to linger here and there about gathering information or answering to the numerous number of people what they want and what they do not want. When they are searching, they are providing valuable data for the people to market their product. When they are communicating with other people, they are giving information about their preferences. All these things could be very effectively used for designing a marketing program for these people. CRM helps in these things. CRM collects the data about the people, about the customers, first of all, who are customers or who are the prospects of the company, gathering information about them and maintaining their database, which can be used effectively by all the departments of the organization, whether they are connected with directly with the sales and marketing or not. Because other than sales and marketing, the various departments which are in an organization also have a bearing on the marketing satisfaction or buying satisfaction of the customers. So, sir, in the case of CRM, we have different types of CRM softwares which are available. The very first is Cloud CRM. In the case of Cloud CRM, the CRM providers they have their own they create the database of the company's customers and prospects in their own server, which can be accessed by all the employees of the company who wants to market its products from anywhere. These data are real-time data. They are updated from time to time, keeping in mind the preferences, tastes, past buying experiences of the customers. Okay, in these data, this particular database also help in extending personalized messages to the people, as these data are updated in real time and which can be accessed by each and every employee of the company who is interacting with the customers or the prospects. It reduces the customer silos, which provides a great satisfaction to the customer. Similarly, another type of CRM software is mobile-based CRM. Here, instead of using the employees of the companies just simply have to access the CRM software via their mobile. It means on their go, they are always updated what all is going on in their companies and what all changes are being made in their customer database. Another type of CRM software is social media CRM. Here, the CRM software links directly with the social media, which keeps a close eye on the people who are using this particular social media sites and all, keeping a view on their traditions, their cultures, their likes and dislikes, and accordingly planning marketing programs for them, especially personalized programs for them, which will be displayed on their social media sites. Finally, the foremost and which is future looking CRM software is artificial intelligence and analytics. Here, in this case, the CRM basically collects all the data, prepares the database, and on the basis of this particular database, it decides what will be the future trends. If a particular person had bought this thing today, what he or she is going to buy in future. Okay, so such kind of reliable forecasting helps the company to sharpen its marketing abilities and to protect itself from the piracy, which can be used by the rivals or the haters, okay, to sabotage their marketing programs. Next slide, sir. Next slide. Okay, so we as we have discussed, now these particular site is, as we have discussed what CRM does, I've already told you that it records and analyzes the customer data, which can be accessed by the people, and personalized and special messages can be given, or I should say special treatment could be given to the customers who are highly satisfied by the digital marketing. Next thing, this particular thing shows The statistics shows the people who are using CRM are highly successful in their digital marketing campaign. It is clearly shown there the people who have been using the CRMs have 91% of the companies which have more than employees are using CRM are satisfied, and the sales leads have been the prospect leads have been converted into sales in more than 50% of it. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Ms. Singh, for your presentation. Our next presenter for the session is Mr. Rahul Kumar, and Mr. Kumar would talk about an integrative study on effect of human resources management practices on performance of employees in the higher education institution. Mr. Rahul.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Sir, my PPT is visible, sir.
No, PPT is not yet visible. Your computer screen is being shared. Files are being visible, but PPT is not.
So now my
Yes, now
screen is
it is
visible.
visible.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, all of the member of the 4th International Conference, which is organized by Jagran Institute of Management, Kanpur. My topic is integrative study on effect of human resource management practices on performance employees in the higher education institution. I am a research scholar of Mano Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad, with my supervisor, ma'am, Dr. Neeraj Kumari. She is a professor of Mano Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies. This is first slide of my PPT. That is a human introduction of human resource management. Actually, human resource management practices includes the recruitment and selection, placement, inductions, performance appraisal, training and development, compensation, and some another activities like acquisitions and work on appraisal and labor relations. Human resource management is very important for every organization. Without human resource, we cannot sustain in the current scenario. Every organization need a good and healthy way HRM practices. Without HRM practices, in current scenario, we can't sustain for the growth of any employees. My study is based on employee performance through 4 HRM practices. I studied on 4 HRM practices on my study, and the performance appraisal. First of all, performance appraisal. What is performance appraisal? The process in which an individual employees does their job efficiently and executes their task in a positive way. It includes effectiveness, quality, and competencies of their output. Maximum studies, I studied maximum of research paper and thesis, and I found that the ability of employee to do their work within the specific time period and is called performance of employees. It's mean basically quality of work is very important within a fixed time period. I taken some literature review. These are the some recent current review of literature. In every research and study, every literature review, I studied on only focus on higher education institutions. What is the impact of HRM practices on employee performance in the higher education institutions? These two slides are review of literatures. Next, my objective is to study the effect of HRM practices like performance appraisal, training and development, compensation and reward, and welfare practices on the performance of employees in the higher education institution. Basically, these four HRM practices are independent variables through which I found out the relation between performance of employees through and that is performance of employees is a dependent variables, and the four HRM practices are independent variables through which I found the correlation between employee performance and HRM practices. After complete my study, I suggest some recommendation and suggestion to how to improve a higher education institution towards the employee performance. These are this is my research framework through which I found the result. First of all, you can see that independent variables and dependent variables in HRM practices, performance appraisal, training development, compensation reward, welfare facilities, and their effect on performance of employees performance, that is the dependent variables. If we manipulate any independent variables, any practices of HRM, then directly or indirectly affect on performance of employees. The main conclusion and major conclusion of the HRM practices, that is without perform well employees, capable and committed academic employees in any higher education institution cannot survive and perform well. It is necessary to study of the various HRM practices on employee performance, but I studied only 4 HRM practices. There are all many HRM practices, but in this study I have taken only 4 HRM practices, that is performance appraisal, training development, compensation and reward, and welfare facilities, and their impact on employee performance. The study also found that the performance appraisal and training and development is continuous and gradually increase employee skills, competencies, efficiency, knowledge, which help to improve employee performance. Basically, performance appraisal and employee performance appraisal and training and development both are very important for the improvement of any employees in the higher education institution. Moreover, compensation and reward and welfare facilities suddenly increase morale, motivation, and job satisfaction, which tends to encourage performance of employees. It is also very important. Without compensation and reward, employee cannot motivate it with himself. And without welfare facility, maximum organization provide currently maximum higher educational institutions, universities, colleges provide welfare facilities like crèches, health, medicines, insurance, etc. And the compensation rewards means the compensation which employee receive from that organization is also very important part. So that is my major findings, and after that I mention some references. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rahul.
Thank you, sir.
Our next presenter for this session is Ms. Shrutika Mishra. Ms. Shrutika Mishra will talk about AI-based digital platform and innovative approach. Ms. Shrutika Mishra.
Hello.
Yes, Ms. Mishra.
Okay.
Please continue.
So are my slides visible, sir?
Yes, it is. Please.
Okay, just hold on. So, good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Shrutika Mishra, research scholar of Faculty of Commerce, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, India. My topic of the presentation is AI-based digital platform and innovative approach. So let's move further with the presentation. So first and the foremost question arises in our mind that what is basically an artificial intelligence? Basically, a layman would link it to robots. Secondly, an AI researcher, she would say that it's a set of algorithms, that is set of program that can produce result without having to be explicitly instructed to do so. That is machine talking to machine, generating data, analyzing those data, mining data, and according to user experiences and generating revenue thereon. Machine can think like humans, as already said by Alan Turing in 1936. Why artificial intelligence? Why the need of artificial intelligence arose? AI is basically a central node to data. AI is in itself mean generating revenue through data. For example, say if I take an example of Google as a platform, its predictive search algorithm uses past user data to predict what a user would type next in the search bar. Similarly, in the case of Netflix, if you see, say, a lot of horror movies, if you see, so recommendations are accordingly. It makes the user hooked onto the platform and increases watch time and generates revenue through those data functioning actually. So already said, data is the central node to AI effectiveness. It makes predictions, it makes user effectiveness worthy, and it generates revenue. According to Gartner, relationship between AI and digital platforms are immensely important. Customers, IT system, ecosystem, and things are coordinated related, and AI provides a possible ecosystem for the interaction of these four systems. Actually, what is digital platform? The next question arises. So digital platform are basically an architecture that enables users to create a value in digital enabled ecosystem. Example, say Amazon, here producers can become consumers and consumers can become producers in that platform. So digital platform basically provides an ecosystem where producers and consumers are interacting. Further, when we talk about digital platform and how does it functions, there's a strong link between digital platform, AI, and business model. I have taken an example of an automobile, say a car. So without a machine, so car without a machine would be just a trash. Likewise, a platform without business model is ineffective and useless. So just as automobile needs support of body structure to function effectively, similarly, business models needs framework of digital platform for proper functioning. So if you take into example, this machine would be useless. The architecture would be useless if machine is not there. So same as business platforms. Business models are actually necessary for functioning. The need of AI arose in the late 1980s and 1936 actually, where AI business model is the process and technique of exploiting the business via which company establishes itself and it generates revenue, profit through data. So data is the central node. Traditionally, what was happening, producers and consumers were operating on a basic pipeline structure. Producer manufactured the product, they delivered the product to the actually consumers in the same manner, but in between, whatever the data were generated, there were no data warehouses to store those data, analyze data, mine data, and according to user preferences, store those data and generate revenue. But with the upsurge of AI, there's a whole lot of ecosystem that has been provided by artificial intelligence, big data, AI tools, and digital platform provided an incumbent ecosystem where producers and consumers interact. Here data were generated and data warehouses were also there to analyze those data. Secondly, Jeffrey Parker, in one of the papers, he noted that 90% of the profit are due to innovative design and novel capabilities. Demand of AI in various sectors has been increasing drastically. The leading sector are financial services and high-tech communication, and falling behind are some business materials and constructions. I have taken an example of Google as a platform to exemplify the fact how does an AI business model work actually. So Google came into picture from a project of Stanford University by Larry Page and Sergey Brin in the 1998. One of the important facts that we are unaware about that Google is not itself an innovative design. It was a replicated approach to go-to model that was functioning in 1998. And this go-to model was functioning on only advertising sector, but Google injected its search engine optimization, search engine page rank algorithm, and AI tools, and it generated revenue. So from 2004, actually, when they injected AI, 500% surge was seen in the IPO. So all in all, we can say that Google is not only transformed strategy with the changing phase of nature, but due to correct assortment of innovation and technology in the industry, which was a failure of go-to model. See, already said that Google has been a replicated approach of go-to model. So let's figure out how Google AI business model functions actually. So I have actually made a 3-tier structure to exemplify this fact more. In the bottom of the pyramid, you can see AdWords and AdSense are acting, and the above third parties are acting. When these things interact, they generate data immensely and continuously. Where bidding process is done through the keywords, profits are generated thereby. Let's take further note on it. I think, and I guess everybody is actually well aware about the Google homepage. So in the search bar, I have typed here camera. The first 10 best page ranks are been listed. These links, this 10 page ranks have been listed, and this page rank are listed upon the formula of page rank algorithm. It's not like it will display anything. So how this page rank works actually? First of all, you go into an AdWords section, a keyword is selected. Say I select a keyword, say flower. So bidding process starts actually. So Google interpretation and Google analysis is done. So if keyword is not relevant to the website you are posting, you will not get rank 1 because of other factors also. And these other factors are consumer and third-party ratings. The number of clicks a user does in respect to that keyword in the particular website also makes the bidding process. So further bidding process gets completed. I have talked about AdWords and AdSense in the bottom of the pyramid. Let's look further into it. What are they? AdWords. Say I have in the search bar, I have typed here camera again. In the right section side, you will see number of ads are given. If you click these ads actually, so the publisher who has done this link, you have loaded this link. If a user clicks onto it, simultaneously the bidding amount is transferred to the Google. This is how Google generates through AdWords. Profits are generated by Google. Similarly, what is AdSense? If you open a website, you will see different like pop-up ads and banner ads. And if you click those links, these banner ads, you will and the publisher of the website actually gets the amount. So Google actually provides a platform to add from AdSense and AdWords to generate revenue. Publisher also in itself also. So the page rank formula works on this. That is not, but I've taken 4 nodes that is 4 computers. So these are the basically AI updates that has been done from 2000 to 2019. We can look a deeper look at any other time. So the annual revenue of Google from 2002 to 2020, I have applied PageRank algorithm and PageRanker Google algorithms, and I got from the 2004 after implementation of AI, the revenue has been surged to $1.69 billion. That is a huge amount actually. So the conclusions are simple and fact that GoTo was a failure because they were not using their data in an efficient way in respect to user preferences, rather only for money purposes they were using, and which generated a mismatching of keywords and website, which was overcome by Google with better AI updates and technological advancement. Also said by our speaker that blockchain technology provides paradigms in business along with AI can also do miracles in business. So this was all, and thank you so much. Hello, I'm done.
Thank you, Sutika, for the presentation. Our next presenter for the session is Ms. Shruti Shahi. Ms. Shruti Shahi will talk about green marketing and sustainable development through X-banking in selected private banks. Ms. Shruti.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shruti Shahi, PhD scholar, Department of Management, Mizoram University. I'm going to talk about green marketing and sustainable development through e-banking in selected private banks. Introduction part is the term green marketing starts existing in the late 1980s and 1990s, ecological marketing was the first workshop on green marketing in 1975, organized by American Marketing Association. And another is green marketing related with 3 P's: people, planet, and profit, where their marketing industry makes the profit and save the planet by doing environment friendly activities. Green banking means to convert paper related banking transaction into electronic transactions. Electronic transaction includes some banking activities, ATM, like ATM machine, mobile banking, internet banking, and online transactions, etc. Green marketing and sustainable development, as I said earlier, then I'm going to talk about sustainable development. Sustainable development, as per the report of the World Commission on Environment and Development, can be viewed as the pattern of resource use that aims to meet human needs while preserving the environment, so that these needs can be met not only in the present but in the indefinite future. Sorry. Electronic banking. Till 1990s, banking was using traditional banking method over the banking branch in India. In 1997, ICICI Bank was the first bank which started electronic banking in India by introducing online banking services in the branches. In 1999, SDFC, Citibank, and Indus Land banks were also followed its initiatives. Government of India and Reserve Bank of India has started taking a various initiative for a smooth functioning and expansion of electronic banking in India. So here is some literature review part, which I'm going to skip. But according to Sumilatha 2019, green banking and electronic banking concept is used for reducing bank expenses and also to save the environment. Its important role is to develop the banking businesses. And the objective of this study is to analyze the recent trend in banking technology, to examine the facilities available for customers by banking, electronic banking and green banking, to analyze what are the initiatives taken by private sector banks for promoting electronic banking, to analyze the role of electronic banking in sustainable development of the banks. Methodology of the study is, this study is totally based on the secondary data, which is collected from annual responsibility report of respective banks, newspapers, related website, annual report of RBI magazine, and also research articles published in relevant field. And this study confined 3 top performing private banks, namely ICICI and SDFC, Axis Bank. That banks are selected on the top performing on the basis of their net profit and data collected for the year 2019 and 20. Recent trend in banking technology and facilities of electronic banking and green banking are online saving accounts. To create online saving accounts is not only give the facility to the customer, but it also a way to save our planet and to make your part of bank green. Paperless statement. Earlier bank was sending out their statements through email or post. That was totally based of paper and time. Nowadays they are using emails and online bill payments. Makes banks launched their own UPI apps through which customer can pay their bills very easily. It gives a notification of due date also. Reward debit and credit cards. Bank also provides the reward points and some gift coupons to debit and credit card holders for encouraging their customers, and so on. Electronic banking and green banking initiative in private sector banks for sustainable development of banks. First is ICICI Bank, SDFC, and the third one is Axis Bank. ICICI Bank has a net profit in 2019 and 20 was 79.31 billion, and SDFC Bank had 26,257 crore. and Axis Bank had 1,627.22 crore. And the electronic banking and green banking initiative for ICICI Bank for sustainable development is to reduce the carbon footprint. Bank provide electronic banking facilities such as mobile banking and net banking, which reduces paperwork as well as save consumer time also. Bank collaborate with green business centers with other organizations which focuses on promoting a recycle, energy efficiency and green buildings, etc. Other side, bank promoting unpopulated technology in SDBSS, coal battery and APM and Driva electronic cars. Bank has also given a loan funds of 1 billion to the company's venture in environment friendly processes and energy economical. It provides a discount of 50% on pre-liquidation fee on LPG and CNG model cars. The bank worked with pump, textile, papers, and cement industry, which helps in certification of ISO 14,000, which is associated with management system certificate. Bank setting up fully electronic branches where a customer can do all their transaction electronic, that reduces the paperwork. The second one is initiatives taken by SDFC Bank. Bank made multiple choices for the customer to make their transaction without going to bank, which helps the paperless banking system and internet banking ATMs. Bank start desktop and server virtualization and reduces the power consumption. Bank also provide a unique code to every customers. Bank are encouraged establishing the service points for paperless consumption. To reduce the environment footprint, bank continuously reduce the paper consumptions. And third one is Axis Bank. Sustainable bank encourages their customer for using electronic, and bank initiate a bringing your own device program. Bank also provides the flexible working arrangements and work from home or work from anywhere. And bank provide towards 100% registration across digital properties by digitalizing more processes, and also enhance the digital offering and easy access. Conclusion is, like, I'm going for the suggestion. Bank should reach out rural area also, they are not reaching out rural area. So there is still many rural population in the India who does not know how to use electronic gadgets and for payments and transaction. It needs to create awareness among the businessmen about environmental issues and to encourage them for the use of eco-friendly practices. To reduce the cybercrime, bank need to ensure their customer about a credit card based transaction and save the online bankings. To make some training programs for the customers to use the mobile banking, to give some award and concession for the use of mobile banking, a card based and online transaction, to finance more environment friendly projects for the scholars, to incorporate a sustainability uses required clear policies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Shruti. Our next presenter for the session is Ms. Shreya Arora. Ms. Shreya will talk about reviving business, adaptation to fintech in New York. Ms. Shreya.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Okay. Let me present my screen.
Now you will be.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Just wait. Yes. So good evening to all of you. I welcome all the participants in the 4th International Conference of 2021, and I'm presenting the paper over the title Reviving Business, Adaptation to Fintech in New Normal. Myself, Shreya Arora, a research scholar from Gurukul Kangri, deemed to be University, Haridwar. So this is the introduction. introduction of about digital transformation. Now, what is digital transformation? Digital transformation is doing something better to doing something new. The world is becoming increasingly digitalized and people are becoming increasingly connected. Digitalization is the result of variety of factors like including pandemics and inventions. Now, what is a fintech startup? Fintech startup is a movement that aims to make financial services more dependable, convenient, and cost effective for customers while also intermediating existing financial institutions through specialized and tailored services. So India is one of the world's first growing fintech markets. India has the highest fintech adoption rate in the world. A variety of government startup policies also aided digital finance startup. Now, according to various authors, Lee and Sheen in 2018 has defined fintech companies as fintech companies can disintermediate established financial firms with innovative, specific, and personalized services thanks to technical advancement in infrastructure and big data analysis. Now, fintech is a new financial industry that employs technology to improve financial activities according to Sheffield 2016. Now, what is fintech industry structure in India? So, fintech has been running in various segments of India, and its growth drivers are technological developments like in cloud-based solutions, big data, advanced security solutions, etc. Now, what is the market trends? Market trends are increasing outline sales of $4.47 billions in 2015 and estimated to $48 to 60 billions by 2020. This is the past data, and this is the Indian fintech industry from RBI side of 2018. Indian fintech industry has been segmented into two parts like payments and in online financial products. Now, payment sector in this is payment banks, mobile wallets, payment gateway, and payment infrastructure in the form of ATM and MPOs. Means next is online financial products in lending, insurance, ENPS, and broking. Now, financial service sector market size from the site of IVEF 2021. This is the recent data. Market size is increasing in the field of fintech, and this is the new way to find out fintech trends from the Google Trends. Now, Google Trends is talk about that how people are searching for the keyword like fintech in India. So here, if I can zoom in this, I'm not able to zooming this side, but the word fintech is a hot topic among the Indian people, and they are searching this word from all over the country. And this is the segmentation from the city-wise segmentation from Mumbai, etc. So you are just viewing that the fintech interest is very high among the Indian people. Now, this is the future of Indian fintech industry. Fintech has fundamentally changed the way people transact and do business in the future, as well as the traditional situation of functioning in and with the financial industry. It has greatly blurred the lines between the service providers and customers. Now, anyone can get their tailored services with a single click. India, for example, is a hotbed of fintech, according to Ernst & Young 2017 report. Now, this is the conclusion. The financial services industry is transforming and fintech is gaining traction with an upward rush that will eventually reach the entire population. A fintech can expand the market, modify consumer behavior, and influence long-term financial industry reforms. However, in today's pandemic situation where all activities have come to an halt, fintech has enabled consumers to access all the financial services with a single click. Now, fintech companies must be properly grown both technically and financially. The bulk of successful businesses are in payments market. Payments market has been growing in tremendous, ratios, and the same is expected in financial segments. Fintech industry needs to be further supported by the government and other regulatory agencies through various measures. The reality is that India has a huge entrepreneurial potential cannot be refuted based on the rate at which fintechnology are emerging. The fintech industry needs to be further supported by the government and other regulatory agencies through various measures. So the suggestions are that fintech industries has various branches all over the world, but it has many hurdles to being cop up in the future. So thank you so much. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Ms. Arora.
Thank you so much, sir.
Our next presenter for this session is Ms. Jessica. Ms. Jessica would talk about impact of green marketing on sustainable development of industries. Ms. Jessica.
All right. I'll share my screen. Just hold on. Just hold on, sir. No. This files. All right. Can my screen? Can you see my screen, sir? Hello? Am I audible?
No, not yet.
Not
you
yet.
are audible, but your screen is not visible.
All right, I'll go back. Just hold on. I'm sorry about this. Stop broadcasting.
Should we help you in this, because we have one copy of your presentation? So should we share?
All right, I'll go back and. Okay, if it's. Can you do it for me, sir?
Yes.
I think I have a problem in sharing through phone. Yes, if you could do it, I would be very thankful. No.
So
All right.
We are sharing your.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Yeah. Okay.
It's a pleasure.
All right. I cannot see from here again. I have a problem. I'm so sorry. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Valalmurimar, and I'm a PhD research scholar from Mizoram University. And my guide is Lalming Yanarentle. He's an assistant professor at Department of Management, Mizoram University. All right. My topic is impact of green marketing. On sustainable development in the industry. Introduction, I have put, according to the directions of scientists, the world in which we live is steering towards an environmental confusion, and the lone means to build up our planet is in the direction to go on green, on absolute swing as quick as feasible. Even since society became more concerned by means of natural environment, business continues to regulate their performance in an effort to speak to society's new concern. So next. Hello. Can you do next, please, sir? So here, green marketing can be suggested to as holistic marketing for the production, marketing, consumption, and exclusions of products and services, which occur in a method so as to less surface the environment, also with increasing awareness to the implications of global warming, no ecological solid waste, harmful crash of pollutants, etc. So sustainable development has sustained to develop so as to carrying the world's resources, as its true schedule is to manage the world's resources. Next comes with green marketing. The green marketing consists of the entire. Sir, can you do next page, please, sir? Oh yeah, thank you. All right, green marketing consists of the entire actions which have planned to produce and formulate any possibilities that can link to satisfy human needs or wants to easiness the support of these needs and wants by way of least harmful smash happening to the natural environment. Association Green Marketing has developed the supplies of marketing with the purpose of environment safety. So therefore, numerous activities of green marketing include product modify, changes towards the production method, packaging changes, etc. It has a result. As a result, green marketing represent to holistic marketing scheme anywhere desirable of production, distribution, marketing, consumption, and disposals of products and services happens through the intent of smaller number insecure to environment. So green marketing, which is a dependable marketing method, is characterized as the organization trusts to design, move forward, choose the cost, fitting, and perceive the stuff as far off as ecological problem measures by Al-Hamad et al. 2019. Next, sir. Sustainable development. Sustainable development is a fine position statement within environmental protection circles. Even though the matter of sustainable development is of current years, lots of writers enclose precise thought as evidenced by Peirce et al. 1994 and have planned 24 definitions of unrelated authors. So in general, there is a rejection of predictable importance of sustainable development. Sustainable development is an increase with the purpose to accomplish the requirements exclusive of compromising the skill of future generations to possessions their own skills. Next, sir, please. Parameters of sustainable development. Parameters of sustainable development refers to the guiding main belief that it helps in accepting the ideas of sustainable development, tip out the problems connected with it, and help to obtain and help to get lively policy actions based on them. So parameter includes a caring ability, inter and intra-generational fairness, gender difference, and diversity. Next, okay. Here I have put some of my literature review. Number one is Al-Hamdi et al., which is 2019. It defines that individuals can be characterized with the developments of green consumers who will be able to remain misplaced on or after the materials to facilitate risk consisting of buyers or besides the authors. And the next one is Chengao et al. 2080s. Businesses by all their commitments are reliant on their social environment. In addition, the holistic character of sustainable development calls for the teaming up of all stakeholders in strategic partnerships to team their skills, capabilities, and yes. Now it comes to the methodology. Here the studies are mainly based on secondary data, which is collected from a collected works of research, publication, published newspaper, journals, online magazines, websites, books, etc. And here the objective is to analyze the sustainable enlargement tools for the growth of green marketing within the organization and to examine mixtures of business green marketing strategies adopted by industries. Importance of green marketing, I have put here one point, which is green marketing implements industry foundation convoy for the roles in informing and responsiveness for the development of sustainability growth within the organization. So it modifies of trade or else productions might resolve, save money in the extensive phase. Next, sir. Green marketing challenges and opportunity in business organizations. There are a few points, and number one, it comes with new concept, need for consistency, determination, avoid green mafia, and with under green marketing opportunities, it has 4 points as well, which is eco-friendly behavior, social responsibility, and competitive advantage and cost reductions. So industrial selections of green marketing, here it comes with Wipro, MRF tires. These companies, it has designed a technology that saves the energy and preventing waste. So Wipro aims to achieve zero carbon emissions change by equal positions. So its corporate headquarters based in Pune is the most eco-friendly building in the IT sector of all over India. And on the MRF companies has launched the ZSLK sequence and has formed eco-friendly tubeless tires made from exclusive silica-based rubber that also offers extra fuel effectiveness. Conclusions and suggestions. Here, the study has concluded that environmental in today's time start glowing as an important subject for government, academician, society, and business all over the world. It can observe that challenges and opportunity posted by every individual is addressing with environment in a various means. And with the suggestions, an organization must carry out the green marketing strategies and its requirements to construct environmentalism beneficial for the successions of green marketing. It should be well known with the opportunity and challenges with the organization and to spread the awareness of getting relief of the conceptions of waste. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the teachers and the organizing members for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Jessica.
Thank you.
Now I would like to request our session chair, Dr. Lakshmi, to share the name of best paper presenter. Dr. Lakshmi. I think because of some technical issues, Dr. Lakshmi is not connected with us. We'll just wait. I'll request to the participants to wait for a minute and we'll get the name of the best presenter from Dr. Lakshmi and we'll announce just for 1 minute. Hello. Based on review and feedback received from session chair, Ms. Shrutika Mishra has been awarded as the best paper presenter for this session. Ms. Shrutika Mishra presented
Yes,
on
sir.
AI-based. She presented on AI-based digital platform and innovation approach. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I take this opportunity to brief about this session. We had 9 presenters present during this management track session in this fourth international conference. First paper was presented by Dr. Ramachandran, who talked about SWOT analysis on export-oriented units performance, a study with reference to garments units in Tirupur. Ms. Preeti Singh talked about digital marketing made more effective by employing CRM practices. Ms. Deepanka Bora talked about CSR, Sustainable Development Goals and Sustainability, a study of CSR in education and health. Mr. Sudeep Basu talked about a critical review on digital marketing strategies adopted by the companies during turbulent time. Mr. Rahul Kumar presented on an interactive study on effect of human resource management practices on performance of employees in the higher education institutions. Our next presenter, Ms. Shrutika Mishra, presented on AI-based digital platform and innovative approach. Ms. Shruti Shahi presented on green marketing and sustainable development through e-banking in selected private banks. Ms. Shreya Arora talked about reviving business, adaptation to fintech new normal, and Ms. Jessica presented on impact of green marketing on sustainable development of industry. I would like to thank all the presenters and participants for joining this session and would request our technical team to share the best paper award acknowledgement certification. Thank you. Now I would request Ms. Lopamudra Munshi to come and take over the session. Lopamudra.
Thank you, sir. The second technical session will have presentations from Information Technology track. We are pleased that Dr. Neetu Goel is present with us to chair this session. Dr. Goel has more than 20 years of teaching experience. She has been taking classes for postgraduate and undergraduate students of GGSIPU University. Currently, she is working as an assistant professor of IT department with Vivekanand Institute of Professional Studies. Her area of research is operating system. To her credit, she has more than 25 research papers published both in national and international journals conferences. She has also written books in computer science domain by Sunrise Publications. I would like to invite Dr. Neetu Goel to deliver plenary talk for this session.
Thank you, Beta. Thank you so much. I'm unable to share my screen. You just give me the privilege. Is it visible?
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am, it is visible.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, all of you. Everyone, before start talking about the Make Utility, a techno project framework, let me congratulate the management of Jagran Institute of Management for taking such an initiative about sustainable practice in business management and technology in turbulent times. I would like to thank conference convener, Dr. Divya Chaudhary, Madam, Director, Jagran Institute of Management, for organizing this conference, and co-conveners, Dr. Anil Kumar Singh, sir, and Mr. Adarsh Srivastava, sir. So now, moving to the topic, let's talk about the Make Utility. Being an IT professional, everyone has to make the projects, and the under the project, we know that the n number of modules are exist in the modules, and number of programs are there. So Make Utility command is used to build and maintain group of programs and files from the source code. The main motive of the Make command is to determine a large program into parts and to check whether it needs to be recompiled or not. Why? Because there is a issue whenever we are talking about the project consists of programs, and the program consists of in number of functions. The problem is how to handle these long files and how to handle this. So every time we need to require the long compilation time. So is there any division of the components we require? Yes, the solution is the make utility. The solution is, first we have to divide our project into synchronized way in a hierarchical form. That project, whatever this project is divided into modules, and this module is dependent on these files. So at the end, minimum compilation whenever something is change. And the second case is, if we are talking about the make utility, this make with we can run any programming language, not necessary for the C or the C++, whose compiler can be run with the shell commands. So we can run this make utility. The main preference of the project is the make file is a file, or you can say a script consisting of the project in the sense the target file, and this target file is dependent on the dependencies in number of files, and the files consist of the instructions. So how to execute this command and what are the rules and regulation, how to make this, we just analyze, or we just graphically understanding the project structure first. For example, there is a one target file, that is the project, and this project is divided into three modules, that file 1, file 2 and file 3. This file 1 is again dependent on the file 1.c and the file def.h, and file 2 is dependent on file 2 and file def1.h, and file 3 is dependent on file 3. So how to handle this project if a programmer change in file 2.c, can we execute or compile whole the project, or the make command is automatically execute this file 2, then file object file is created or recompiled, automatically linking with the project. The next one is, what are the components of the make file? The main components of a make file is the comments, rules, dependencies lines, and the shell line. Whenever we are talking about the comment, we says that the hash symbol, hash is used for the comment. Whatever you are writing after this symbol, this is called the comment. As we know that if we are writing a comment, this statement is not executed by the compiler. So you can write in this way, hash, this is a comment, or you can write in between of the statement, but the part is after this symbol, the statement is not execute or compiled by the compiler. And then next one is the rule. Whenever we are talking about the rules, it says that how and when to make a file. There is a compiler in the system, and the main job of the compiler is to generate the object file. But when to generate the object file and how to execute this file, the rule is always depend in the dependency line. For example, there is this hello.o. This is called the whole statement is called the dependency line, or we can say this is the target file hello.o. This target file is dependent on hello.cpp. If this hello.cpp is newer than the last modification, the date and the time of this hello.cpp is newer than the hello.o file, then the action, which step has to be taken? The step is taken by the compiler is to compile this file hello.cpp. So we can say that a rule must have a dependency line. This is the dependency line, and after that the action, it's not necessary only we have to put a one action or a one shell. There may be a number of steps and a number of shell lines are exist. So this is the rules. And dependency, we already studied that colon is when in any statement, if colon is there, that is called the dependency line. For example, there is a colon, that means this is called the dependency line, and this is called the action line. So and the main part of the dependency line is always whenever you are breaking your project, the dependency will be placed in a descending order. Descending order in the sense whenever we have to make this project, you have to write down in the descending order. First you have to write down the dependency is this, project is dependent on this, and this is dependent on this, and so on. So always remember that whenever you're writing a script, the dependency is always following the descending order. The second part is the shell line. Shell line in the sense action line, the behavior, and it is always intended, the line or must have the tab. That means if there is a target, this is the dependency line. Then if this is the newer, then which action, which shell line to be executed. Before this action line, tab must be there, and it is not necessary only one shell line is there. It may be a 2, 3, 4. It depends on the statement, but every time you have to learn that we have to give a tab. So target can have more than one shell line. Each line must be preceded by a tab. And after each shell is executed, make check to see it was completed without error. So we can say that the rule, whenever we have to write a make command, there is a rule how to write down the this. There is a one dependency line. After the dependency line, there is a tab key. After tab, we have to put the action. For example, in this case, the make file, after whenever the shell line is there, and it return the 0, the return status, it may be a 0 successful return or without error on the error. It depends what is returning type. The second case is, in this case, how to execute or how to compile the file. This project is the target. So make find the target file. The target file name is here project, and see, find out how many files are depends. If the project is dependent on file 1, file 2, file 3. These 3 object files are depends. Now the role of the make next is to check, is there any of the 3 object files which are listed here, file 1, file 2, file 3, are listed as a target here? Yes. File 1 is again a target is here. Now file 1 is dependent on file 1, then the MyDev header file. So again, the compiler, or you can say make, is check this file 1 is work as a target here. No. Then file 2, the file 2 is check, file 3 is check. Now how to recompile and how to execute. For example, the make operation, the how to execute the statements here. The project file, the last modification of this project target file is 10:03 AM or PM, whatever the time is there. File 1 object file is 9:56. File 2 is this. The make utilities check these 3 depends file. Are the newer than this file or the older one? The time of the project file is, last modification is 10:03. File 1 is 9:56, file 2 is 9:35, file 3 is 9:40. That means all these 3 files are older than this. That means in these 3 files are no modification, no updation. Now the file 1 is checked. The file 1 as output, the file 1 is based on the file 1 and MyDev. Again, check file 1.c. The timer of the time, last modification time of file 1 is 9:14. File 2.o is depend on the file 2. File 2 timing is 10:05. Now here is the chaos. The timing last modification of file 2.c is 10:05 and the object file is 9:35. This file is newer than this file. Now the job of make file is automatically compile this file, execute these statements, and after execution this file, the file 2 is automatically generated. Same case in the case of file 3.c, the timing of file 3 modification is 10:45 and the file 3.object file is 9:40. That means this is again the older one. Now the action is execute and the action is to this file is statement format clean. Now the file 3.0 and file 2.0 should be recompiled. Reason being, the file 3.c and file 2.c is the newer one, the file 2.object file and file 3.0. Consequently, file 3 is the new one and the file 2 is the newer one. That means the project target, the target name is project, so it should be a recreated or relinking. I hope the concept is clear. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enriching words. Now I would request Mr. Anand Dixit to take over the session.
Thank you, Lopamudra. Good afternoon, Dr. Neetu Goyal ma'am and all the participants. So first of all, our presenter, min-max algorithm. So please proceed, Mr. Dayadu.
Sure, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Today, my topic is about artificial intelligence, discovering the optimal move for an opponent in two players game by Minimax algorithm. So, artificial intelligence is the imitation of human intelligence processed by machine, particularly computer systems. Game playing is a significant area of artificial intelligence. In this paper, I will reveal that when two players play a game, then how Minimax present a best move for the player pursuing that opponent is also playing optimally. We will also illustrate the properties as well as limitation of Minimax algorithm. This paper will help to student, research scholar in understand that how Minimax algorithm discover the best move for a player. A game tree in the game theory is defined as a tree with nodes denoting the game state and edge of the tree are possible move of the player from one position to another position. Tree searching is fundamental and completely incentive problem. It is a combinative optimization algorithm for search in a game tree. Game tree search algorithms such as Minimax have been used with huge success in chess-based oppositional games such as chess or chess. Objective of this Minimax algorithm to find out the optimal move for the player by using Minimax algorithm. The game tree is given below. You can see the game tree here, and the first step of method of this first step, how we can solve this game tree and get a minimum shortest optimal path of this game tree. So the step one, we have declared that we have max and min, and we have considered that max is first player and min in the second player. I want my opportunity and my winning prize is max, and my next player opposition want my opportunity is low, that is min. So in this below tree diagram, let's take as is the first state of the tree, pursuing that maximizer takes first chance, which has worst case initial value is minus infinity, and minimizer will take next chance, which has worst case initial value plus infinity. Since A and B are the child of S, and C, D and E, F are the child of A, B as the initial value of S is minus infinity to plus infinite, will move among all the child. So here is step 2, where we consider the value of C and D and E and F. So first of all, now we searching the util value of maximizer. Its initial value of is minus infinity. Therefore, we will compare each value in terminal state with initial value of maximizer and determine the higher node values. It will discover the maximum value among all the values. So here we can see the tree. So first of all, we need a maximum value. Here is a terminal node, and terminal node value is first, we can see the value of C. Here, here you can see G value is -2 and H node value is 5. And we want C node value. C node value need maximum value. G have -2, H and 5. So we will consider maximum value. So here is 5 is maximum value. So we will consider C as 5. Also, when we see the D node have 2 child. First is I and second is J. I have 3 and J is 7 value. So we will consider 7 as maximum value because we need maximum value. And all we see E node have 2 child, K and L. K have -4, L have -6. So we will consider -4 is maximum value, and also F have 8 because M is 0 and N is 8. We need maximum value, so F is 8. Just like that part, we will also consider A and B value. Here A have 2 nodes C and D, and we need minimum value. So A have 2 nodes C and D, and C value is 5 and D's value is 7. We need minimum value. Minimum value is 5. So we'll consider 5 as minimum value of A. And also in B, we will have 2 node E and F, and E have -4 and F have 8. So we want minimum value. So minimum value of B is -4 because E have -4 and F is 8. So herein you can also see it is a chance for minimizer. So it is compare all the node value of plus infinite, and we will discover the minimum value among the all values of A and B node. And the fourth step is we need root node value. Root node value is maximum value. So we need maximum value of root node S. So now it's a chance for maximizer, and it will again select the maximum of all node value and find the maximum value of root node. So here is a root node have 2 child, A and B. A have 5 and B's value is -4. So we will consider maximum value. Maximum value of S is 5 because A have 5 and B is 4. Okay, so here is a result. So we will consider a path. So first of all, we have 5 as root node. S to A because we need actual same value, and A to C and C to H. So our path is S to A, A to C, and C to H. So this is a path, and the conclusion of this is max is backtracking. Backtracking means we can also backtrack from is move, which is used in a decision making and game theory. It is for 2-player games such as zero sum game and tic-tac-toe etc, and it considered both the players are playing optimally. It is widely applied in 2-player turn-based game. It may be good choice when players have complete information about the game. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dayalu.
Thank you, Peter. But I have one query.
Yeah.
Mr. Anand.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Mr. Dayalu, please answer the question of Dr. Neetu Goyal, ma'am.
Yeah, Peter, you have developed discovering an optimal move for an 2 players game by min-max algorithm. Have you developed the code? corresponding to this?
With Minimax algorithm.
Yes, min-max algorithm corresponding to this algorithm. Have you developed this?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, on which constraints or you have taken the always starting with the max, then the min, then max. Is there any structure you have to use BST or the
Yeah.
complete binary tree? Is there any constraints?
Yes, ma'am. We will use with example of 2 players.
It's okay. You are picking two players,
Yeah.
but whenever we are talking about the tree or the min max algorithm, always start with the min or the max. You're picking the 5 value, 2 value. There is a constraint, and whenever we are talking about the terminal nodes, there are some values. How to find out these values? Is there any rule?
No, ma'am. We can also go to any side if we want to start from left side. We can also.
Okay.
Any,
No issue.
yeah.
Thank you, Beta. Very well
Thank you,
explained.
ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Now our next presenter is Mr. Sanchit. He will talk about the journey of data center, its influence. So Sanchit ji, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Please.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Sanchit Gupta, student of MCA final year at Chakra Institute of Management. And I wrote a review research paper on the topic Journey of Data Centers and its Influence with the help of my mentor, Mr. Anand Kumar Dixit, sir. So in this, I discussed how data centers evolved in the last few years. What are their classification? What are their uses? And what are their influence, their effects on us? So I'll try to summarize all of this in this presentation. So let's start by defining what actually data centers are. So in layman terms, a data center is just a physical place which consists of different kind of components of computers, which may include servers, storage devices, some networking devices such as routers, switches, firewalls, and all these computer components work together in order to process data, store data, and provide the data management requirements of a particular organization. So if your organization want to store and process data, the answer is to use or hire the services from a data center. Now let's have a look at some of the roles which these data center provides. Starting from the basic one, that is the data storage, management, and backup recovery. If we use any data center to store our data, we get several kind of backup and recovery services. That means if due to some fault tolerance, if the data got destroyed, then they have the mirror images, the backup services. Then moving towards the productivity applications, such as email, we use real-time emails with the help of Gmail. And also currently this video call is happening on Zoom, which is also somewhere hosted on a data center. So all these productivity applications also run with the help of data center. Then moving towards artificial intelligence and machine learning. So as you know that artificial intelligence is all about learning a model with the help of data sets. So we need a huge amount of data sets and we perform several kind of computation on that to fetch results. So all that happens within a data center as well. And not only that, if you move towards the gaming community, then data centers have their fair share of like advancement in there as well. I'll like to give an example of Stadia, which is a platform created by Google. So basically what Stadia does is that it runs graphic intensive computer games on their data centers and provide their live stream to the users, which make the users feel that the game is actually running on their computer system. So this illusion is created with the help of data center. So with the help of that, the user no longer need to think about the hardware limitation of their particular system. They can run any kind of graphic intensive game. Then we have e-commerce. In e-commerce, we know that Amazon is booming in India, and we all use it like day to day for every transactions. That is also happening somewhere stored in a data center. Now, every organization, be it small or large, have their different kind of data management needs. And depending upon that, we classify data centers in different tiers, and there are 4 of them, starting from tier 1 to tier 4 in the increasing order of their performance and cost and their decreasing order of downtime. So let's get into all these all 4 of them. Starting with the tier 1, which is the basic capacity. That is the simplest and the most basic data center of the all. It provides roughly 99.67% of uptime, which basically means that the data will not be available for around 28 to 29 hours per year. Now, these type of data centers are a good choice for a small size organization whose technical needs are very limited. They only want to store records and fetch them, and they doesn't have the priority to get them on right on time. They don't have that kind of priority. So for these organizations, tier 1 data centers are the best. Now moving toward tier 2 data centers. So these data centers roughly have the same kind of arrangement like tier 1. The only difference is that their components are a little bit more improved. And apart from that, it provides the backup and redundant components. With the help of that, multiple copies of the data can be stored. So if any one of them is not working or failed, then we can make use of another. So this will make the tier 2 data centers a little more robust, we can say. And talking about the organization, so any small to medium size organization will most likely to use tier 2 data centers. Now coming to tier 3 data centers. These have the 99.98% uptime, roughly 1.6 hours in a year. Your data will not be available if you use this type of data center, which is quite amazing. But still, for organizations which have very crucial work, 1.6 hours is a lot. So another striking feature is that tier 3 data centers and onwards, they provide power outage protection. It was not there in tier 1 and tier 2 data centers. So what it basically means that if the power supply of the data center is not working, it's cut down from any reason whatsoever, then also the data center can continue its operation up to 72 hours. And apart from this, it has some kind of complex infrastructure of redundancy. Redundancy simply means copying data at multiple places, just like backup and recovery. And with that, it has also multiple power and cooling lines. And another important feature of tier 3 data center is that if any one of the component doesn't work, it's failed, and we want to replace it or fix it, so we need not to shut down the whole system. Instead, we can just remove only that particular component, and rest system can be working accordingly. And tier 3 data centers with all these features are a good choice for a suitable large organization. Now, tier 4, which are known as fault tolerant data centers. Now, these are the most powerful data centers currently present on this planet. And these have 99.995% of uptime, which basically means 26 minutes of downtime per year. And apart from that, talking about the power outage protection, 96 hours, these data centers can work if they doesn't have any power supply. Now it has another feature known as 2n redundancy, which basically means if n is the number of total components present in a system, it can be a CPU, it can be a generator, a cooling system, any one of that. So these n are the number of components, and 2n means we have n more components, like a copy of the original component. So what it does, it makes another system with the same duplicate copy of the original components, and these two systems are totally independent of each other. So what actually happens is that when one system gets more load, it distributed among another one, and this is known as load balancing. So with the help of 2n redundancy, these data centers can scale up or scale down accordingly and share the load very well. So with these striking features, large companies such as Google, Microsoft, Amazon are most likely to use these data centers, and not use, we can say that these companies like to build their own tier 4 data centers for their own data, because these companies have strict like security rules. They don't want to give their data to other organizations, so they build their own. Now let's address an important issue which is rising due to these powerful data centers. The issue is rising power demand. So when these data centers are so much powerful, they utilize a huge amount of power supply. And as we know, if we use power supply from non-renewable sources such as combustion and all that, so it creates carbon footprint and a lot of carbon emission, which is not good for our environment. So this is an issue which is like increasing day by day due to these data centers. So the solution for this is use renewable energy. All the organizations like which are running data centers must replace these the energy supply from non-renewable to renewable energy sources, which basically means using sun, wind, and water for the for giving the power supply to these data centers. It will not only help the environment by reducing the carbon emission, but it will also help the organization. These are the 3 benefits which the organization will get. It is better for the planet and better for the business. It will decrease the overall utility cost for the enterprise. And lower cost doesn't mean the performance will be compromised. No, the performance will be consistent, no effect on that. And finally, it will improve the brand image and customer loyalty. If a customer knows that a particular organization is using green energy and renewable sources, then it's most likely that the customer will employ that particular data center for getting its services. Now, moving towards the conclusion, I would like to say that data centers are the backbone for the whole IT infrastructure. So a nation must invest in the research and development of data centers. And when they want to construct a data center, they should take tier 4 as their benchmark. Also, I would like to mention that in the COVID-19 pandemic time, when everything went online, we used Zoom for the online meeting, and remote work, we used Google Meet. So all that thing also was somewhere backend, in the backend was happening due to these data centers. So with these words, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanchit. So our next presenter is Ms. Shrishti Shukla. She will present data about the data security and privacy in fog computing. Ms. Shrishti Shukla, are you ready to present your presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am here to present my presentation in data security and privacy in flow computing. Abstract flow computing aims to get the cloud closer to IoT device to solve cloud computing problems with processing IoT data. It is a layer that sits between the cloud and the computer. In addition to those inherent from cloud computing, fog computing like cloud computing faces new security and privacy problems, but which specific difference? In this study, we have briefly described these challenges and the corresponding solution. This study will help to improving privacy and security in flow computing database. Introduction of the flow computing through security. There are 3 layers in flow computing. First layer name is H level, second layer name is fog layer, and third layer name is mist layer. H layer works for sending and receiving the data, and fog layer work through internet. This is a basic 3-level hierarchy. Every smart thing is linked to one of the fog nodes in the system. Fog node can be connected, and each one is connected to the cloud. Fog computing is a type of distributed computing model in which data is recorded and proceed in a cloud platform between the origin of the source and cloud platform. As a result, data processing overhead are reduced. The computation capability in cloud system is improved due to the reduced need to store and proceed vast quantities of the unnecessary information of the data. Review procedures. Cloud computing has brought with it a number of security concerns in which the flow platform may have inherited. This diagram involve have virtualization and the other cloud platform issues can have the improve on the fog platform as well. This is the diagram for data loss and advanced presentation threat, access control issues, access hijacking, and denial of the services. API system and application virtualization, malicious issues, and due diagrams, technical issues. Analyzing table display the connection between the major fog application and the security problem contiguous. The segment review techniques contain the overview of each graph. In these 7 layers are presented in the diagram. IAC and APS, DOS, AH, DL, DB, ASV, AI, IDD, IMS, and STPS, and ANP. According in the some enhancement according performance on one of the specific application failure that have been taken. The request mention the reduced probability and the security. Existing fog computing security solution. Fog computing are related technology have real-time applications such as analyzed in the section. This is work on through computer and cloud based. One computer send information with cloud overhead. Hackers can hack the information in middleware. This is known as security reasons. provided. Even so, it has been discovered that in the vast mechanism of the salutation, future security checks that cloud be interaction of prevent those are overloaded. Privacy. Privacy. One person send information in a bank website. In the sending information, in the mid of sending information, data fetch between the hackers. This is negative attacks.
Better come to the conclusion part.
Yes, ma'am.
Directly come to the summary.
Yes, ma'am. The future minimize risks. The device requires the request of functionality reduction are capable for reducing data contents with fog nodes. This work is starting between the focus on the
Ms. Sasti, please conclude it.
Yes, sir. So this is a conclusion. The article concludes with a discussed of the how recommended security solution might avoid attacks and protect for the threats mentioned in paper and summarized in this paper under table 3. We have discussed only. These security technologies are designed to save the CIA of the whole fog computing users are their system. According the listeners, various applications are used for fog computing. All the whole which required a high degree of the protection to protect user data for CIA. Future scope. As you know, cloud computing use 3 layers. First one is software as a service. Second one is platform as a service. Third one is infrastructure as a service. In this fog computing, we use in a fast for fog as a service. This is in a interaction now for field to development in which a fog service provider connected internet through the network interconnected for a node. This will cover a large service area, which is a prominent now development. For example, avoided the differentiate agents man in the middle attacks can be difficult. The incorporation of an anti-tampering machines mechanism into a fog device would be promising solution. These are references. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Beta.
Thank you, Srishti. Our next speaker is Mr. Aprajit Banerjee. He would like to explain the real life use of the gameplay. Mr. Aprajit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please.
A very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Aprajit Banerjee from Jagran Institute of Management, HMCA, and I'm going to present my research paper about real-life uses of gameplay algorithm, also known as gameplay AI.
Aprajit, your PPT is not visible.
So is it visible now?
No.
So give me a second, please.
Yes, yes.
So is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay, sir. So following up with our introduction, real-life uses of gameplay, artificial intelligence. Game software has been termed as a human-level AI killer application by Lade and Van Lade in 2000. State-of-the-art game software recreate real-life scenarios with surprising level of details. The problem with this, however, lies in the fact that despite their highly qualified and highly well-developed audios and visuals, these environments are usually populated with many characters, allies or enemies. Normally, it has a central co-character known as the main character, which is controlled by us humans in real time. It can be referenced as the human intellect or the reference to our intelligence, which has to interact with the artificial intelligence that is created by the programmer. Now, the importance of gameplay AI lies in certain things such as challenging a person's cognitive function ability, providing a visual unbiased comparison between different algorithms, providing a fleshed out AI to be implemented in physical interfaces. An example of this would be Spot, a mechanical dog that was developed by Boston Dynamics last year. It can exchange simulation exercises for defense training or a scenario, particularly for military and air forces. It helps AI expert to understand the limit of an AI in terms of interactivity with humans or other AIs. One of the most complex problems and the benchmarks that exist with the current AI. Now, the current challenges that exist with an AI, if it had to be simplified for the layman term, taking a note of the current AI implemented in gameplay, there are common issues such as believability of an AI. Often we would see highly well-developed complex AI that has a certain set of actions, but end up facing problems where it would be completely dumbfounded regardless of the situation and the set of course of path that it has been given. In this case, we will see a normal game character which has attacked an AI or an NPC, and the main code of the character would actually ask it to simply move away from the shortest possible route that exists from the main character. Now, in these circumstances, where it is only given a certain set of limited action, it wouldn't take any regard for the surrounding or environment. As a result, it would end up getting stuck in any obstacle that comes in contact with it. This leads to opposing vectors canceling each other out and the character standing there dumbfounded. It brings a wall between the organic real-life human behavior that we perform and between that of an AI, because it doesn't simply understand certain set of action it shouldn't take or the certain set of action it can alternate to, such as stepping to the side or moving away, or instead of simply being deadlocked. The solution to this would be, ideally, we would wish an AI to have a desirable path of action to take and choose the most desirable options. However, in this case, we would, rather than giving it a shortest route or simply a certain set of answer, we'll give it a variable amount of options to choose from. In this case, rather than going with a certain set of actions, let's simplify it and think about a short route that a character has to take to reach us, the main character. Now, the difference in this route from normal AI lies in the idea of reconsideration of the action it has to take. Under these guidelines, an AI would rather have a list of options available, and if the best possible case is somehow obstructed rather than being stuck with it, AI would simply proceed with the next possible course of action. If I had to visualize this idea, then it would look something like this. Let's say we have a sphere, and these green lines would actually represent the certain course of path that the AI is going to take. The longer the line is and the darker the green line is, it is the best possible route it could take. Now, let's say for some reason, if us, a human that is controlling the main character, ends up baiting it into taking a certain set of action where it would end up getting stuck. For example, running into an obstacle, then simply rather than being dumbfounded, it would end up taking another best possible course of action that it has to take, and it would keep following that way. This ends up resulting in a very smooth behavior for the AI. On the other hand, we would also have red line that are going to show the routes the AI should absolutely not take. We would often face certain scenarios in simulation as well as robotics and in general gameplay. NPCs or the artificial intelligence end up taking extremely dumb possible decisions that doesn't make any sense. That is extremely detrimental to the actual goal. In this scenario, let's assume that we have a NPC character or non-playable character programmed with a certain set of AI, and often we will see it walking into a wall or jumping away from a roof because it doesn't have inherent or the intercoded hardwired intellect that tells it that certain set of actions are going to harm us. It doesn't have a presence of threat. So by coding in the idea that it has a certain set of action it is not supposed to take, it would give us a much smoother behavior on the AI's part. Conclusion: it can be believed that computer game AI may be the next revolution in gaming industry. Over the last 2 decades, we have seen extremely well-developed and fleshed out graphics as well as the visual aids. Next step in the computer game is to introduce the advanced AI technique that can reach the goal of having true adaptive game, increasing the level and believability of the immersion. To achieve this goal, the gaming community as well as the developer engineers need new techniques, approaches, and tools, as well as ideas to allow them to specify, develop, and incorporate AI in the games in a friendlier fashion. This mostly has to do with the fact that they had to explain these things in layman terms because often the people or the group of team that actually provides the visual as well as the audio aid aren't actually able to understand what the coder or the programmer is able to convey. With that, I would like to finish my presentation. I thank you, all of you, for giving me your time.
Thank you, Aprajit. Our next presenter is Mr. Bhaskar Mishra. He would like to present security measures to detect errors in data link layer while communicating in networking. Mr. Bhaskar, are you ready? Okay.
Wait for a second.
Yes, sure.
So is it visible?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bhaskar Mishra, MCA third semester. I'm presenting my research paper on the topic security measures to detect errors in data link layer while communicating in the network. There are several ways to improve security. There are several ways to improve security of data and to apply cryptography at different layers of OSI models. And useful approach to apply security measures in data link layer may be parity check. Parity check by transmitting data can be detected for errors up to 5 bits, while earlier concepts applied to the data for errors only for odd number of bits, that is 1357. In error control, error control is both error correction as well as detection. In this mechanism, receiver informs sender of any frames lost or damaged or which is not being acknowledged and asks for their retransmission. There are 2 types of errors: single bit error, in which usually only 1 bit has been changed, and second one is burst error, in which more than 1 bit has been altered or changed. Now, suppose sender sends the data with code word and data word for the given table, for data word 00, the code word is 00000, that is 5 times 0, and for data word 01, it is 01011. For data word 10, it is 10101, and for data word 11, it is 11110. Now, this table can do up to 3 bits error detection and 1 bit error correction. Example, if the receiver receives 00101, we can clearly check it is not in the code word we sent, which means that it has been altered or changed or corrupted. Hence, we can perform 1 bit change after observing that we could sense one bit change. Now, after observing the code word correctly, we can sense that the third code word can be made by changing the first bit, which will result in 10101, which respond to the code, which respond to the data word 10. If it is, then we have to ask for retransmission. It can perform single bit error detection as well as correction. There are two types of parity bit, even parity or odd parity. In even parity, we append 1 at the end, so to make the number of ones even, or odd parity we can say to make the number of ones odd, then we append 1. For the more updated version is the 2D way, or we can say where we check both the row wise as well as column wise. In this example, like the given 10100, 10001, and 11111. In this way, now we'll check the sum column wise and row wise. If the sum of 1 is even, then we append 0 at the last, or if it isn't the case, then we append 1 to make it even at the both end, that is row wise or column wise, to make it divisible by 2. The same information is sent to the receiver to recheck it to detect any error, or if the condition doesn't hold, then we can correct it if it is a single bit error, or otherwise ask for retransmission. But now what if we upgrade it? Which means that for a larger number of bits, if we send it and we check it, now we'll check row wise that the sum of 1 is divisible by 5 or not. And if it isn't, then we simply put 0, otherwise 1. We'll check column wise, it is divisible by 3 or not. If it isn't, then we put 1 at the end, otherwise 0. The same information is sent to the receiver to recheck it, to detect any error. And if the condition doesn't hold, then we conclude that the packet has been corrupted and ask for retransmission. Hence, we can see that parity bit can detect error up to single bit or in odd multiple of bits, that is 1, 3, 5, 7, but it fails on even multiple of bits, that is 2, 4, 6. Hence, upgraded version can detect error up to 5 bits and more. Conclusion, we can see that parity bit can detect error up to single bit or in odd multiple of bits, that is 1, 3, 5, 7, but it fails on even multiple of bits. But by using the parity check, we observe that the error detection technique is made more corrective, and there are a lot of possibilities to detect error up to 5 bits and more. It only fails if the error bits are multiple of 5. Hence, it improves error detection and encryption at data link layer. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaskar. Okay, our next presenter is Mr. Raj Kushwaha. He would like to explain the implementation of cryptography. Mr. Raj Kushwaha.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, it is visible?
Yes. It is visible now.
Okay, sir. Good evening, all of you. My topic is the implementation of cryptography to improve the network security in transportation of data packet. Cryptography is a better way to improve the security of data packet while transmitting within the network. We can use one-time pad. In this technique, we convert the plain text into ciphertext. Again, at the receiver plane, the ciphertext is converted into plain text so that the integrity and confidentiality of the data is assured. Cryptography means security writing or secret writing code module. We use this technology in a computer science, computer networking, and government secret documentation. Here we can use a one-time pad. In this technique, we convert the plain text into ciphertext. Now, as a billions of users access the web and citizens are using the network for banking, purchasing, and more confidential data, which is not so to other. Now, the foremost important part of it network is network security. There are 4 parts of that, which is given by Andrew. First one is security, and second one is authentication, and third one is non-repudiation, and fourth one is integrity control. Security, it is also called a confidentiality. Every company has its own confidential data, which is very.
But you can skip this slide.
Okay.
Yes, you can also skip this slide. Come to your part.
Yeah. It is actual unbreakable quite easy to encryption method. This is a method additionally called decades. During the process, we can use ASCII representation. Nevertheless, we count and number 0 to 5. Here we present J to 9. It is from ASCII representation. J to 9, I to 8, M to 12, K to 10, just like that. After that, generating a random number less than a column, which is a given string, and generate a random number into length. A string, and it's the number even 0 to 25. Here, all the alphabet are in a ASCII representation. The value of I is 8, C2, 2, E4, and such like that. Now, the last but not least, further add both ASCII representation number right here is 17, 10, 16, 17, 20, 25, 19, 30, 38. Here, I'm going to subtract the last one with a 26. Here, next is the number which is greater than 26, and then subtract that number to their number from added list. In the list, we have only created number U is 38. Now subtract that number to 26 and put in the place of U. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Raj.
Thank you, Vito.
Now I would like to request you, Dr. Neetu Goyal ma'am, please give your views about this session and also declare the best take.
Thank you, sir. Before giving, I have one query for the paper presenter for real life use of gameplay that presented by the Aparajit Banerjee.
Mr. Aparajit Banerjee. Hello. Are you present?
I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter, do you have any idea, new idea, or the approach that can be used in the gameplay nowadays? Because your title is the real life use of gameplay.
Ma'am, most of the problems that actually exist with AI usually come from the way hardware is, the AI is actually implemented on the hardware. For example, let's
AI
say,
is implemented with the hardware.
yes, ma'am, a few of the problems. However, there are some core problems that actually exist within the foundation of how AI is created. Because I really think the problem lies in the fact that human has this inbuilt instinct, right? We have the ability, when we sense too much heat, we have a mental image of that we might be burned, When we see too much brightness, we end up closing our eyes. We have instincts, but you see, AI doesn't have that, because programmers don't usually code in the negative actions or the actions that it isn't supposed to take that might be detrimental to it. AI doesn't have a sense of threat. It doesn't understand the certain actions that it shouldn't take. If we end up implementing those ideas, I feel like AI might be significantly improved and it would give it a much more smoother and much more organic behavior.
Okay. Anyway, thank you. Thanks a lot, Peter. As for me, the conference was very enjoyable and technically very profitable. Reason being, I enjoyed the conference very much, interesting talks and the nice participants, and the such a great patience participants. I do appreciate your painstaking work for the organization and the engagement of the conference. And needless to say, your Greek management skills to manage the conference, and congratulations for the organization. Thank you again for organizing this very successful conference. Your conference has been a great success in all the possible respects. For me, I really like the paper. The paper number is, if we are talking about the level of the creativity, originality, and the content and the uniqueness, the best paper award goes to Artificial Intelligence Discovery, the optimal move for an opponent in two players game by Minimax algorithm, presented by Mr. Anand Kumar Dikshit, and these are the authors, I think. And
Mr. Dayalu Bajpayee is a presenter, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Dayalu Bajpayee. Right,
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
right.
Yes.
Right. And I would like to thank everyone to joining and would request a very technical team to share the papers. Now, I would like to take over the session.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable views and time. And now I would like to present memento and certificate of appreciation to Dr. Goel, ma'am. So please.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you once again. I hope you continue the series and I wish you all the best with that.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you. So as a report here, now I want to brief this session. Our first participant, Mr. Dayalu Bajpayee, actually talked about the min-max problem. With the help of min-max problem, he want to explain that using the AI strategy, he can enhance the game performance. There are multiple games like tic-tac-toe and others which are playing by two players. So there exists a optimal move, and with the help of this min-max algorithm, we can enhance the optimal move. Our second presenter, Mr. Sanchit Gupta, actually present the journey of data center. Nowadays, there are huge data. So this is managed by in backend data center. So he basically represent the data center. What are the data center? Their tiers, tier 1, tier 2. He also explained about this and the future scope of data center. Our third presenter, Ms. Srishti Shukla, basically defined the fog computing. What are the advantages of fog computing, as well as she also told us this is intermediate between the cloud and the computer, or you can say the last user. So she also discussed the security measures and privacy in fog computing. Next presenter, Mr. Aparajit Banerjee, discussed about the real life use of a gameplay. Using the AI, he actually presented this thing, and to achieve this goal, the gaming community actually required a new techniques and approach, also tools that allowed them to specify, develop, and incorporate AI. Now, our next presenter, Mr. Bhaskar, define the security mechanism in network. In data link layer, basically with the help of parity checker, you can detect the error. If you detect the error, then you can flow the data from one system to another smoothly. So he basically discussed about the parity checker mechanism. Our last speaker or presenter, Raj Kushwaha, actually defined the implementation of cryptography. When in the network data is moving from one system to another system, then there is a requirement of cryptography, means there is a need to secure the data. So he explained about some mechanism called one-time pads. So this is all about this session. And now I want to congratulate the best paper to Mr. I think ma'am declared. Yes. First one to Dayalu Vajpayee. Okay. Thank you. Now I would like to call upon Miss Lopa Mudra to handle the session further. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we have reached at the end of this international conference. I welcome all the participants in the valedictory session of the conference. We acknowledge and appreciate your participation and presentation in the technical sessions of this conference. I would like to request our technical team to share the certificates of the participants. Thank you. Now I would like to request co-convener of the conference, Dr. Anil Kumar Singh, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Lopa. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks in this event. On behalf of Jagran Institute of Management and Organizing Committee, I extend our deepest gratitude to our guest, Professor Manu Bora, for his gentle presence and for sharing his valuable insights. Sir, we are extremely fortunate to have your blessings. We are fortunate to have some of the eminent persons from academia and industry. I am sure that the participants must have been benefited by attending this conference. I would like to express our deep gratitude to our other distinguished speakers, Professor Joshan Vij, Dr. Pastor Argles Jr., Mr. Amit Srivastava, Ambassador Adasola Helen, for accepting our invitation for inaugural session and sharing with us your views today. I also thank Dr. Lakshmi Rawat, Malla Reddy University, Hyderabad, Telangana, and Dr. Neetu Goyal, Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies, New Delhi, for chairing the technical session and sharing your thoughts as plenary speaker. We take this opportunity to extend our sincere thanks to the Vice Chairperson, Mrs. Ritu Gupta ji, for her leadership and direction in achieving the objectives of the Institute. We are grateful to the CEO, Dr. J.N. Gupta ji, for his continuous supports and advice, which have greatly helped towards the successful organization of international conference. I sincerely thank of the member of advisory committee for their valuable suggestions. We express our sincere thanks to the director, Dr. Divya Chaudhary, for her inspiring mentorship. I take this opportunity to thank all the reviewers and technical committee members for providing their valuable comments in time and help towards the improvement of quality of papers presented in the conference. We are thankful to Dr. Asmita Dubey, Principal, Jagran College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Mr. S.P. Tripathi, Director, Jagran Institute of Management and Mass Communication, Mr. Amaldeep Singh, Director, Jagran Institute of Digital Animation, and entire fraternity of Jagran Education Foundation for their support and help. We would also like to thank Convener Dr. Divya Chaudhary, Co-Convener Mr. Adarsh Srivastav, organizing team of the conference, all faculty members and administrative staff for their strong efforts in making this event a success. We hereby acknowledge the hard work of student volunteers in organizing this conference. I once again thank everyone whose contribution has made this conference a successful conference. Thank you for joining. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you for joining.